What if I told you that many people who point the finger today would be condemned by the very prophets they claim to follow? Does the Bible really condemn sexuality, or does it condemn hypocrisy? What if the greatest sin isn't what you do in private, but what you do when you judge others? Or if the truth is something the church avoids? To understand what the Bible truly says about sexuality, we have to travel back in time to the world in which it was written. This was an ancient, patriarchal society. Marriages weren't about romance. They were about survival, power, and property. Women had few, if any, rights. In that context, sex was deeply connected to inheritance, political alliances, and social stability. So when the prophets spoke of sexual sin, they weren't talking about a person's identity or who they loved. They were talking about broken covenants, abuse of power, exploitation, and profound injustice. The sin wasn't the desire itself. The sin was hurting another person, breaking a sacred trust, or causing chaos in the community. It was about actions that destroyed lives and tore apart the social fabric. Before we go any further, if this perspective isn't something you hear often in church or in your community, take a second to leave a like on this video. It helps this message reach more people who might have only ever heard one side of the story. And if you've ever felt judged or pushed away because of your faith or your life, subscribe. This channel is a space for those of us who are tired of shallow answers and are seeking a deeper, more honest truth. So, if the prophets weren't obsessed with sexuality, what did they actually condemn? If you read their words, you'll find they hardly ever mentioned it. But they spoke constantly, passionately, and relentlessly about something that is conveniently ignored in many pulpits today. They condemned religious hypocrisy people who looked holy on the outside but were corrupt on the inside. They condemned the exploitation of the weak, the poor, and the vulnerable. They condemned spiritual pride, the arrogance of thinking you're better than everyone else. And they condemned selective judgment, the act of picking and choosing which rules apply to others, but not to yourself. The prophets didn't shout against those they thought loved wrongly. They shouted against those who believed they judged rightly, while their own hearts were filled with injustice. Now let's fast forward to today. It seems many modern Christians have become experts at picking which sins are unforgivable and which ones are just minor slip-ups. There's a laser focus on certain aspects of sexuality, while other more pervasive sins are completely ignored. What about greed, which the Bible calls idolatry? What about hidden adultery, the kind that happens in the heart and mind? What about the daily practice of lying, gossip, and slander? What about the complete lack of mercy for those who are struggling? It's just pointless to claim you are pure in your body if your heart is dirty with judgment, pride, and cruelty. The Bible is clear. What comes out of the heart is what truly defiles a person. People often say, the Bible contradicts itself. But does it really? Or is it that people contradict themselves by twisting verses to justify their own prejudices? The Bible isn't a weapon to be used in a moral crusade. It wasn't written to give us stones to throw at others. It was written to reveal the heart of a loving, merciful God who consistently sides with the outcast, the broken, and the humble. When we cherry-pick verses to build walls and condemn people, we are not honoring the text. We are desecrating it. We are using God's word to do the exact opposite of what it was intended for, to bring healing, restoration, and love. The contradiction isn't in the book. It's in the hands of those who wield it like a sword. We live in a strange time. It's an age where nobody is perfect, yet everyone feels qualified to be a judge. We scroll through social media, pointing out the flaws in others, while carefully hiding our own. But according to the very scriptures that are so often quoted, there is no salvation based on comparison. You don't get into heaven by being slightly better than your neighbor. The standard isn't other people. The standard is divine perfection, and we all fall short. It's a futile exercise to sin in silence and judge out loud. It's a path that leads not to righteousness, but to self-deception. The Bible's message is that we are all in the same boat, all in need of the same grace. Perhaps the greatest sin of our generation isn't sexual, it's spiritual. It's the sin of using God as a tool to feel superior to others. It's the arrogance of weaponizing faith to build our own pedestals. If this video made you think, share it. Share it with someone who lives in judgment or with someone who has been crushed by it. And subscribe to this channel if you believe that truth doesn't need to shout to be heard. It just needs the courage to be spoken. On Judgment Day, perhaps many will be shocked to discover that they were not condemned for what they did, but for the love they never showed, the mercy they never gave, and the grace they never extended. Truth does not need judgment. It needs courage.